The clan selection, characters. Oh, synopsis. 6 fighters are chosen and handed 6 cards and fight to determine who will get their wishes granted. Isn't it just the Holy Grail Wars FA? No? Okay. All right. Let's see what else they got. Energy generator. When you ride, put this card in your crest zone. If you want second, energy charge 3. You may pay energy to draw cards. Pay 7. Isn't it just speed counters from 5 Ds? Go fast makes me feel alive. My heart beats in hyperdrive. Oh, wait, we're still doing a video. What's up, card fighters? My name is Naru Samuel and welcome back to the channel. And today we are going to be talking about this week's announcements with Divine Z, new mechanics, new story, and overall, what's going on, what are the pros and cons, and how are we going to see it forward. If you ever want to get a deck box that looks like this, or even a binder like this, well, now's your chance because Dueling Guard has so many more deck boxes and binders that look just like this with your favorite characters on them. If you guys go down below, click the link and use code NARU at checkout, you'll be able to get 5% off your order and be able to enjoy some of these wonderful things from your favorite anime. If you guys have any questions, don't hit down below and check out duelingguard.com. Alright guys, so getting into the content here, I do think what's going to be kind of interesting about the new Divine Z synopsis and storyline is that we're actually kind of getting away from Will Dress. And I don't mean the characters themselves, I just mean the story of it's just a card game or AI overlords trying to take over and make the card game less fun. Like that stuff, it was an okay story. It was kind of almost slice of life, but it included like some small sci-fi aspect which felt like Vanguard, but it wasn't there yet. And now that Divine Z has been announced and has this more like Destiny involvement with actual units talking to players from the footage that we saw, I'm kind of anticipating we're getting back into the whole Planet Cray storyline. And that was something that really got a lot of people into Vanguard back in the day, with Aichi having Psyqualia or Chrono just having a weird connection with Chrono Dran. We're finally kind of getting back to that, and I'm super excited to see where that goes. So there's not really any cons with the show. Vanguard's still pushing out content as well as making a more bigger audience for everybody, and I kind of want to see where it goes and what gets brought out from it, and you know, enjoy it. But going into more technical side, we actually did get an introduction to the new energy generator. So with the energy generator, what I think is going to be kind of enticing is just how this resource is going to be used. Now we already have a little bit look with the skill itself. You get 3 charges of the energy each turn at the start of your ride phase, and then you can pay 7 to draw 1. And the only other card that we have announced so far, which is the light elemental, that says that you can pay 4 energy to ride it from the ride deck instead of activating the regular ride skill that says discard a card. So both are kind of like the same skill. We're either not discarding for a ride or we're drawing a card. So we're saving a card no matter what, or gaining a card that we need. What's going to be kind of interesting is what other card skills are going to use energy, and how much of a difference is energy going to be to soul charging, soul blasting, or counter blasting and counter charging. How are we going to use this resource differently? Other than that, there's not really any cons with energy. We may have more cards that are incorporating it, but then that may give into more different deck ideas instead of like every deck having a restanding Vanguard or having 4 to 5 attacks, or even Shirnui who has 7 now. So we're probably going to be like leaving a little bit of like the attack pattern decks and probably getting into more of like individual skills and counters against people. But with the energy generator as the announcement, the one con I do kind of see here is the missing of guard power in the game. Now, I'm not doubting that this energy may solve that issue because it is drawing cards, but when are we going to get more things that give it shield? Now with light elemental, it does gain power and shield when placed by paying 2 energy. So we're already seeing that shield value taking effect in here instead of actually making cards with more shield, which is an interesting take because I guess now we gotta like choose our resources wisely for gaining energy in order to place cards that give us enough shield. But in comparison to Blitz orders who also gain me on shield, I guess the plus side is you're actually keeping unit cards instead of Blitz orders by paying energy to get more shield out of them. So you're saving your soul and counterblast for something else, which is an interesting take and honestly a neutral thought because it's also a good thing and then a weird concept at first. it looks weird on paper, but I trust Bushiroad's going to have something figured out going forward. Now, going into the next dot is the 50 card deck. So Vanguard has always been a 50 card deck. When Standard started, it was a little confusing because you technically still had a 50 card deck, but it was 46 in the 4 ride deck cards, so 50 altogether. But now they're saying, you know, you still have a 50 card main deck, and the first thing everyone thought about was like, normal deck, normal focus. You don't feel like you're decking out faster because of all these cards that are drawing. And honestly, having a 50 card deck is easier to manage for shuffling because, you know, a lot of people like to do their pile shuffles and, you know, work things out like that. Now, where it kind of got a little interesting was the second that was announced, I was like, oh my God, all the cards I wish I had space for, I can finally run. I don't feel like I'm stuck with only 30 choices because you do have to incorporate your 16 triggers, and then you only have 30 spots left for the deck, 4 taken up by PGs, which made it only 26 cards. So within those 26 cards, you needed either more persona rights, which lowered it to now 23, and with that you had to build with 23 spots, which pretty much a normal deck in premium and V would have been like 11 grade 2s and 12 grade 1s, which now in standard was much different because Bastion can run all the grade 3s it wanted, but needed to put space for guard power, as well as other decks ran a bunch of grade 2s or a bunch of grade 1s because there's no worry about missing a ride because you always had a ride deck. Now with those extra spots, there's actually now just infinite more space, and it's kind of not bad now to incorporate more orders into the deck. That was another worry people had, that they just drew too many orders and was like, can't really use the deck right now. Zorga took a good advantage of that because it was able to ditch orders and use them from drop of Alchemagic, so it made things a little bit easier. But now with that extra space, it kind of helped. Now the con of the 50 card deck was actually when the crest was announced, the energy crest, because now your spots kind of look like they are already predeterminedly filled up. You have to run these new cards that use energy if energy is going to be the way that you get more cards in hand to guard or be able to guard in general. Time will tell. This is just an assumption, but that's just the one worry of, did this 50 card deck save us, or is it pre-planned to make the crest more useful? Other than that, I think what we got for reveals for standard was pretty good. The one downside I am assuming, and I hope it's not the case, is how this is going to affect premium. And I know it's a weird take, like, Frankie, this is standard. What premium are you talking about? How much of Divine Z is going to be focused on energy? And this is the question I'm trying to ask you myself, because even though we like to wait for premium sets like History Collection, P-Clan Selection, Revival Collection, things like that to get more premium cards and like play the game, what are the chances that we're gonna still be getting the small little bits of D format cards that can be used in premium? Because we took advantage of some already. Nubutama had access to the Soja Doji grade 2, which made things slightly easier for them, as well as Foxtail. Other decks used things like the Murtoa Loop kind of took advantage of the Blackwing Girl that went to Soul and drew a card. Premium did take from D format a little bit, but very little. Are we still going to have that little bit from D format to take in, or are we going to start losing it altogether for premium aspect? That's pretty much my overall review on the Divine Z synopsis. They had a lot of other cool announcements other than the energy counters. They showed off a few more of the characters, what they're playing. I think the Dragon Girl actually kind of has the most amazing unit out there. I don't think she's gonna win because the main character is the Angel Knight, but you know, it is what it is. But that is going to be it for today's video. Tell me, guys, what are your thoughts about Divine Z? I think it's going to be an interesting take on the series. It's going to feel like hopefully old Vanguard a bit, even though it's doing its own story. But I do want to check it out and have some fun. And the fact that Lelouch's voice actor is in it actually makes that really cool. But if you like today's video, please comment down below what you want to see next, as well as click that like button and subscribe, because, you know, I'm trying to do this for not a living, but for the fun and to talk to you, the Vanguard community. Well, that's it for today's video. See you guys in the next one. Peace.